Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of Super Rugby Pacific. We are already up to round 5 in this one. The Hurricanes hosting the Western Force. Should be a high-scoring game, or at least it normally is when these two sides go head-to-head. Looking through at the table, the way that it currently sits, the Brumbies, they are at the top of the bunch, although they did suffer a defeat in the last round, putting them currently on 15 points to clear of second place, but the Hurricanes, theoretically, if they were to win this game with a bonus point, they can sit number 1 on the overall standings. They are a game behind some of those other sides, the Waratahs, the Reds, and the Drua, also already having their bye weeks. But it should be intriguing to see what kind of Hurricanes performance they can put on here. They had a bit of an up and down season, like a lot of sides throughout Super Rugby Pacific. They started well, although they did have that preseason fixture up against the Chiefs. The reason I put that one in is because seems to be at the moment the Hurricanes either go off to an absolute flyer. I think that's actually missing one of their matches too. They had a more recent game that they did take part in last week, but they did have that loss to the Fijian Drua. They were able to get themselves a fantastic win over the Waratahs as well. That is the one that has slipped through the cracks. They've got a game next week up against the Landers, then the Reds. The Hurricanes will want to get going, try and move their way towards that top spot. Looking through at their starting lineup, it is Poldy Rickety Stones, Jacob Devery and Pasilio Tossi as the front row. Caleb Delaney alongside Isaiah Walker Leawiri recently announced that he is going to Benetton for next season. Brad Shields, Duplessis Karifi and Devon Flanders, they will be the loose forward trio, so no Peter Lakai for this matchup when it comes to that starting lineup. They have got Braden Yossi in the team, but he is making his way off the bench for this game. Instead, in the back line, it is Cam Roygard as the number 9 with Callum Harkin at 10. Fehi Finianofo showing off what he can do throughout this season thus far. He is out on the left wing. Geordie Barrett and Balin Sullivan in the midfield. Natunani Punivai, he will be there as the number 14. Josh Morby at 15. I actually have it a little bit different. I have Huni Rover in that midfield. I'm not too sure whether or not there has been a change in that department, but overall, a very strong looking Hurricane side. For the Force, it is Tom Robertson in the front row alongside Brendan Payanga Mose and Harry Johnson Holmes. Jeremy Williams moves into the locking duo to partner with Darcy Swain, Will Harris, Carlo Tazzano, and the return for Nick Champion to Chris Pignay in that number 8 jersey. Henry Robertson and Ben Donaldson as that 9 and 10 combination. Bailey Quinzel out on the left wing. Kurtley Beale and George Bridge as the midfield combination. Bit of a throwback to the old school Super Rugby days with those two there. Darby Lancaster and Max Berry as the number 15. We have got Billy Let's Go. Says Mr. Billy there. Let's go. The Canes says Scott. How's Hamish? Have an awesome weekend. And there is so much on for this weekend, of course. Canes is a chicken brand. As in like, well, I think it's Raising Canes, isn't it? In the USA. Is that the one that you're talking about? Hello, Hamish. How's your week been? It's been fast. Can't believe we're already at the weekend already. But there is, of course, plenty of Super Rugby. 6 Nations, the Sevens, URC also taking place. Good, says Debbie there. Hi, says Ali. Welcome in. And also we have there Canes by 13 from Kiwi Rob. I have 2G on the Hurricanes winning by 7.5 points. Now, I would think with the way that this Hurricanes were able to go up against the Waratahs last week, they'll probably be disappointed to only win this game by 7.5. We did see the Western Force lose their game to the Highlanders just recently, 39 points to 31. But I think it's guaranteed to be a high-scoring one, like I mentioned, between these two sides. High, says Debbie there too. And Hurricanes by 14 is Collins' prediction there. But the Canes about to make their way out of the tunnel. Their most recent game, they were able to win it 59 points to 19. Just showing there the loss that they had up against the Fijian Drua. Although they had the wrong scoreline up there. They had it about 43-33. I think that was a different game though, as it was 25-20. Lawaki should be starting every match for the Hurricanes. He's possibly going to be in All Blacks, or be in the All Blacks. He keeps destroying anyone in the scrum, says Jordan. Yeah, will be intriguing to see what kind of minutes he gets throughout the season. I feel like there are a few handy props at the moment in Super Rugby Pacific, and some of them aren't even in the starting lineup. Some are used more as that impact off of the bench. And to be fair, it's a pretty handy-looking bench here for the Canes as well. You look through a Sapphire Moore, Xavier Numia, Tyrell Lomax, Warner Derns, Braden Yossi, Ruben Love making his return off of the bench here as well. I think URC should have a 6-week break, so you can have the best players of the Six Nations. You can have South Africa versus South Africa teams. They kind of do that in some regards for the South African matches. Normally they're playing catch-up, but yeah, I think just with the amount of weeks that the URC goes for, they just don't have time to not play a couple rounds during the Six Nations. So it can be a bit of a downfall of the likes of a Glasgow or a Leinster, but at the same time, most of those European sides are in the same boat. You look at someone like Benetton, pretty much all their team are Italian internationals. We have got the hello, says Jasmine. Welcome in. Who else says Colin there? No, Lauakai is better than Tossie, says Jordan. I didn't argue that he wasn't. We have got there Flanders super overrated, and Lauakai is 10 times better than lazy flopper Tossie. Once again, I feel like you're arguing with yourself. No one said anything about Tossie other than you, I believe. We have got there, says Colin there. Flanders super underrated. Yeah, Devon Flanders. He's also got a younger brother, doesn't he? Can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I think he was playing in the NPC last season. Does seem like a relatively bright future for him too. Cam Roygaard inside of the 22 kicks this one downfield off the left boot. No, but you implied that there's quality in the way. I don't think you quite understood what I said. I mentioned about how there's a lot of good props throughout New Zealand. Some in the starting lineup, some off the bench. Where in there was I insinuating anything about Tossie? We have got there Barrett must spark today, says Colin. Cooper Flanders is in the wider training squad for the Hurricanes. Does that mean he's playing in those 15s or like the Hurricanes B matches? Freshman, it's a pretty tough side to get into the loose forward if you are a Hurricanes Lucy at the moment. Now Nick champion to Chris Pigney returning for the Western Force in that number 8 jersey. Now being told to use it. I can't, says Jordan. You're just hearing things that you're not actually hearing is the only thing. I get that you love Lauakai and you want to have his babies, but at the end of the day, we weren't at all. In fact, I even agreed with you. That's the worst thing about it. I said that he was a good player. Josh Morby now, sitting here just outside of the 22. And now this one shouldn't be allowed to go into touch for Cam Roygaard on the full, so instead he will pass it across on the inside. And guys, who's going to win tomorrow? Landers versus Satyrs. It's going to be a good game. And I was doing a little bit of research around that contest. 6 of the last 9 matches were separated by 3 or less points between the two teams. So hopefully we get a close game like that as well. Now nicely taken by Carlo Tizzano. He's been a bit of a try-scoring machine for this Western Force side. Ben Donaldson goes across to the left-hand side. Curtly Beale finds himself in the 12 jersey rather than making his way off the bench. I'm sorry, I just really rate him and really hate Tossie. See that? Yeah. I think it may have been just a case of, I get that you really like Lauakai, and obviously Tossie is the guy who's keeping him out of the side. So you're always going to have that little bit of disdain for the guy who does get opportunities. I assume you're a bit the same with Lomax if they were going with those two, consistently. But this one's going to be on the side of the Force, getting in that breakdown. The Hurricane should be the turnover, and it is for Brad Shields. I'm in Christchurch, but a die-hard Landers fan. I'm going tomorrow. Perfect scenario then. You've got yourself, I guess, neutral ground per se, but I think there'll be quite a few Crusader supporters getting in there. Definitely with the fact that it's one of the last games at the old stadium. Do you know that Duplessis Karefi was named after ex-Springboks Morne Duplessis? I do indeed. And people still try and call him South African because they say with a name like Duplessis he has to be, but it's just not the case. The story behind it is his father played up against Morne Duplessis back in the day. Cricket tomorrow, not for me probably. Last I knew they had 10, so if they are still short heading into tomorrow, I'll probably end up playing, but if they can find an 11th, then I will be doing the streaming instead. I've a ground of this, or is this McLean Park? Says Kiwi Rob. Now going away to the left-hand side. I've just gone Sky Stadium as the background, seeing is kind of connected to the Canes, but Walker Leawitty, big money man, going to Benetton. Now Roygaard back across to the right. Geordie Barrett with the skip pass, bouncing into the hands of Balin Sullivan. Now trying to get into that breakdown. Jeremy Williams told to get out of it. A bit of a methodical start for both of these sides throughout the first 4 minutes. Seems like they're both being quite sensible at the moment. No one wanting to leave that massive gap. Mention how these two sides normally have high-scoring games. Johnny Rover in their number 13 jersey passes it across. I was talking about your juniors, not you personally, says Kiwi Rob. Well, thanks for, like, I guess, stating that afterwards. But yeah, the juniors are playing tomorrow. Going off to the right-hand side. Harkin. It's a little bit of a problem at the moment for the Hurricanes in that 10 jersey in terms of injuries. We have seen Godfrey out for the season. We've seen Brett Cameron go down for the season, although Ruben Love returning off the bench here. Callum Harkin has cut towards the sideline. Still good defence at the moment from this Western Force side. Good clean out from Devon Flatter. Short side, Cam Roygard chipping behind. Waiting for the bounce of the ball. Oh no, he didn't get it. It bounces away from him. Hits him in the face as it goes dead. I've just seen Tossie get penalised in the scrum even in the NPC. I'm a Highlanders fan. I like seeing the Hurricanes waste time of Flopper Tossie as someone who's leaving. Says Jordan. He just doesn't quite get that one down in time. Cam Roygard. It's a good chip in behind, and he saw the space down the short side. Lomax and Loaki would be the ultimate combo. Says Jordan. Wait, so you're playing... But if you're playing Loaki as a loose head, then Tossie shouldn't affect that too much, should he? Because theoretically, like, if you put in Lomax as your 3 and Loaki... you're talking about tight head prop combo. Never mind. I was confused for a second. I thought you were talking about, like, your front row as the 2. Now, Harkin round the halfway line. Currently 6 minutes into this contest. Brandon Poyanga-Mosa looking for the turnover. He does both. So are you playing him as a loose head in that combo? Or are you having him as the impact off the bench? All big wide cutout pass to Balin Sullivan down the wing. Shut down by Darby Lancaster. I know you can do both. Loaki plays 1 and 3. What is your opinion of Tana Umaga possibly being part of the All Blacks coaching group? I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to Dave Rennie, isn't it? I've seen people already saying, Umaga doesn't have the best coaching record and whatnot. But if he is the guy that Dave Rennie wants in his team, who are us people who just watch it on the TV to judge, who he wants in his camp? Like, it's probably something more than just, like, win-loss record as to why he's putting him in there. Come on, lads, score first. Here's BTW Padza. I wonder if I'll be able to watch the Super Rugby semi-finals when I'm in Thailand. I'd assume they'd have some sort of global option. I know that some places Super Rugby is actually streamed on YouTube. So that might be one of them. Kick downfield, Ben Donaldson. Nice take by Callum Harkin, who looks like he's just going to slow this one down and boot it into touch. He's given that a fair old smash downfield. And now it's going to be a Western Force line out. And that's a quick bounce, freshman, in regards to the awkward bounce of Roygard. It looked like it was going to pull up in the in-goal area, and then it just took off. Kept on going. Davis Culture Man says Jordan. But yeah, like, if he has a group around him, because that was probably one thing that you could argue didn't go the best with Robertson in some regards, as the coaches around him as the head coach, like, you got to have an environment where you're happy with your team. That's going to be now a knock-on from Max Bury. Swain and Williams, nasty lock combo. Says Jordan, yeah, Williams been playing a little bit of that 6 throughout the earlier stages for the Force, but does predominantly play in the locks. It'll be handy at line-out time, though, and this is where we're going to get to see it potentially tested up against the Canes duo of Caleb Delaney and Isaiah Walker-Leawiti. Hurricanes scrum now, though, 40 metres out from the Forces line. I don't think anyone would have predicted the first 10 minutes of this game to have no points. Is anyone else going to type in the chat? I feel like I'm spamming, says Jordan. Every once in a while, the ones that are coming through. Or rather, Carlos Spencer, he's an overseas experience, has recently come home. He could still, I think there's still, 2 or 3 more coaching roles that Rennie's got to fill in. So, who knows, maybe Spencer does find himself as some sort of advocate role in there too. I think Tana Umaga is salty with the comments today that the Blues don't want Moana in Super Rugby, says Kiwi Rob. I don't think he completely said that. I think that's a twisting of his words. But he did mention how they haven't really been welcomed so much in Auckland because of the fact that the Blues are considered Auckland's team. So he said that the rivalry at times has got pretty ugly, even though, he's... in his mind, he's happy to have Moana as a part of the comp. But it does seem to be that they haven't really been welcomed with open arms to the region. Going off to the left-hand side, Roygaard. Cross there to the left-hand side, Johnny Rover running up the middle. Morby has got Cam Roygaard with him, who drops the ball. I think he was being tackled before he even got that ball by Carlo Tizzano. Until he got pushed back a little, he was under pressure, although they did still win the scrum. There is going to be a free kick, or in fact penalty here. Okay, referee does award penalty to the Western Force, who put this ball into touch. But Johnny Rover in the midfield, just then passing it off. So Morby's been penalised for accidental offside here. Yeah, I know there was a bit of contact with Tizzano. I don't think Tizzano tried to actually tackle him per se until after the ball touched him. Oh, it was all right timing-wise. Mosa throws this one in. Now away to the right-hand side. Ben Donaldson will kick it up high. Oh, was that a takeout of Kirtley Bell? Morby takes it nicely under the high ball. Thought about the offload. Just take it to ground now. Gives it to Devery. And kia ora, Hamish, bro. How are you going? Says Matthew, doing very well. It's an extremely busy weekend in the world of rugby, that is for sure. Although I did see that the first day of the New York Sevens actually overlaps with the Six Nations. So that, I mean, it's kind of ideal in a way for less hours of streaming, but we're still going to have about 20. I don't hear a word of that. Super Blues ad just appeared right when you were about to speak. Says Jordan. I don't think we've had many rugby ads on our rugby stream, so I guess they're finding the right target audience though, aren't they? In a way, that one's going to be booted into touch by Donaldson. In fact, no, he's going to have to kick it down the middle of the field. Just stepped outside of the 22. No more bets on Geordie Barrett this week, says Pro Pleb. Have you got anyone else that you've backed? Out of curiosity, Johnny Rover now down the wing, tries to grab it. That was blatant there from Ben Donaldson. Should mention I've already half by lost my voice earlier on in the week. We've had a few videos that are coming up. They will have to check this one though. Johnny Rover tried to kick it down the wing. Yeah, no, that's really bad from Ben Donaldson in terms of blatancy of changing his line. And they've said it's fine. Have you heard what the injuries are for New Zealand Sevens? Because they haven't said, says Kiwi Rob. I haven't as of yet. I haven't actually looked into it yet either though. $2 on Pasilio Tossi to score. Okay. I mean, he has scored a few before. I still remember that golden point try that he scored up against the Reds a couple of years ago. Matthew, did you make a mistake? That's 50. I think that's Australian dollars too, Matthew. That is extremely generous from yourself. Was it supposed to be 5? Because if it was, then they've added an extra 0 there, but that is a super sticker and a half to start off the weekend. Thank you very much, Matthew. The New Zealand rest are so useless, says Freshman. $2 on Tossi to concede 5 scrum penalties, says Jordan there. Currently, the Hurricanes are on attack and cannot wait for the rugby all weekend, says Matthew there as well. Now sitting 5 metres inside of the 22 here for Cam Roygaard. It's a nice cosy chat tonight, says Robbie. No, it was meant to be 50. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, it's greatly appreciated. First donation of the weekend, and it's that. It's quite the way to start. Are you doing the Blues vs Moana game on Sunday? I am hoping to. I'll be very sleep deprived, so I'll be half by sleep drunk at that stage, and I'll be making a whole heap of no sense. So you'll probably get to correct me a lot more than you normally do. Kiwi Rob, pick and go there from Poldy Rakati Stones. 3 men in the breakdown, can't quite get up with the force. Morby plays half. Now across to Johnny Rover. 13 minutes in, no one's scored yet in this game, and it's a good grubber in behind. It's just going to stay in the end goal. Oh, that was close. Burry may have accidentally touched that one. Yeah, it was taken back. So it's a 5-metre scrum now for the Canes. Stop watching the Sevens because they're doing my boy Manson dirty. Yeah, he wasn't even in the squad last one, was he? And Mass Sleep is overrated. Yeah, I agree. Although last weekend was a bit ridiculous. We were up for about, I don't even know how long it was. I think it was like 50 hours with about 3 hours of sleep. Second $50 donation for the weekend for you, bro. I made one earlier, says Matthew. Was it on a video, Matthew, that you did it perhaps? I haven't actually seen it yet, if that was the case. I better check. What's brought this on, Matthew? In a generous mood? Did you win the lottery or something? Nice take from Johnny Rover on the Fijian lineup. Okay, see, I haven't actually seen that as of yet, but I'll check now. Currently 30 metres out from the line. Roygaard looping around, gives it off to Geordie Barrett, tries the grubber, bounces back to Morby. You did indeed, Matthew, there an hour ago. You've got the 50 with the thanks. Thank you very much. Of course, the super sticker in there as well. So you aren't doing the Sunday Sevens Kiwi time. So the Sevens in the morning overlaps with the Six Nations. So I won't be able to do a majority of day one, but I am hoping to do like most of day two in terms of the matches that we'd normally do on the playoff days. You deserve it, my bro, says Matthew. Well, thank you very much. We have got there, Matthew. You're very generous. Want to be friends, says Furberg. Is that Azerbaijan? No, those are Australian dollars, which I think are about the same as New Zealand currency in that regard. Now scrum feed here. Brad Shields making his 100th Super Rugby start tonight. A big occasion for him, but 15 minutes in, I can't believe we haven't seen any points between these two sides. I talked this one up to be a super high scoring one. Oh, good Sir Hamish, says Kiwi Rob. But yeah, we will be providing updates of the Sevens throughout the Six Nations Day. Utossi won a scrum. He did. It was a good scrum there from the Hurricanes. I'm just going to have a quick look, ladies and gentlemen. They're just talking about how the Canes will not be kicking at the posts here. Instead, they will be looking for the corner. Oh, to be fair, last year they played, it was 17-17. The year before that, I think it was a high-scoring one, though. The one that kind of sticks out in my head. Where are we? It must have been February. Yeah, 44-14 in favour of the Canes. That was in Perth. As there only one Super Rugby match, there is only just the one, and that is a nice steal there at line-out time from the Western Force. Should the Canes have maybe taken the three? I think it's a little bit more in New Zealand currency. Here's Matthew there as well. We have to get that currency converter up. AUD to NZD. Oh yeah, no, you are right. It's actually 120 New Zealand. Oh, that one's taken back, is it? Oh no, it was still in possession, so it will be a goal line dropout here. Good morning, Hamish and chat. It says, hey, no, welcome in. You are doing very well indeed. Don't forget you have Sevens 2 next weekend. That is true. And also, tomorrow is a big day. Yeah, there's 3 matches of Super Rugby taking place tomorrow. A little bit of push and shove between these two sides after the after the goal line dropout was awarded. It seems like it's a Zaya Walker-Leawiri. Now kick downfield from Donaldson. 17 and a half in, 0-0 between these two sides. What are the Hurricanes doing? At the moment, not scoring points. Surprisingly. You know, last week they had their game up against the Waratahs. They were scoring every few minutes. Considering Chiefs aren't playing this week, where will they end up this round, says Kiwi Rob. So at the moment, I'll chuck that up. So theoretically, we'll say the Canes win this game, although they've just given the ball back to the Force. It's almost a 50-22. In fact, it was very close. They may just be checking this one too, but Darby Lancaster getting it in behind. So we'll say, theoretically, the Canes to go above. The Blues should win. Reds or the Tars will win as they're going head-to-head. So I'd say Chiefs are probably looking at 6th or 7th and the standings at the end of this round. But, of course, there'll be a few sides that are above them in terms of matches played. Doing very well. Thanks, Amish, yourself. I'm doing very well. Excited to be up this whole weekend. Going to be a lot of great games. I need my fantasy points, says Jordan. Okay, asking for a bit more of a gap here. And the line out, Jacob Devery to throw it. Gee, says Jordan. I mean, you mentioned about the classiness of that line out of Jeremy Williams and Darcy Swain. They've been causing problems for the Canes at the moment. That ball's nicely taken though. Oh no, penalty. Awarded to the Western Force. I got tickets to the Bulls versus Stormers game. That should be a really good one. Have they announced the teams yet, Hano? I know that they normally do it about 24 hours beforehand. It'll be morning in South Africa at the moment. Have they said who's playing yet? Or is it still a couple hours away? Ben Donaldson, though, they are also turning down the three-pointers here, the Western Force. They will kick it for the corner, although it will be about 10 metres out from the Hurricanes line. It's been a smooth sailing type of matchup so far, morning, says Kyle. Bulls vs Stormers will have like 2K crowd. They'll have a good crowd for that game. Definitely with the fact that it is in the mix of the Six Nations. Not yet, probably in the next 4 to 6 hours. But yeah, they'll be anticipating over 20,000, I would think, for that game. Because they are all too scared to go to the stadium. That's more so the Lions' home games, is known as the not quite safer area in Joburg. Loftus, though, that's all right. Why the Crusaders lose the game, says Bradley. We talked about last week why they lost. They just didn't seem to fire up against the Blues. And I have to say, the Blues were the most relentless and brutal that they've been in the breakdowns for quite some time. It was thoroughly impressive to watch, but the Crusaders, they'll also be very happy to have Will Jordan back. Dion Ferrer is going to be back. Again, that man, I just hope he gets out of it without an injury. Like, he's had so many throughout recent times, and you can tell that he still loves to play, but at some stage he's got to decide whether or not it's worth it. Normally do the announcements on the Wednesday or Thursday morning, then do the captain's run before the game on Friday, and he's like 40. I believe around 25k minimum, says Haino. Yeah, so it'll be a great crowd to see. Now running forward, Darby Lancaster runs straight at Geordie Barrett, currently 5 metres out from the line. The Force are in this at the moment here. Oh, that was illegal from Devon Flanders and probably going to be a yellow card too for cynical play. But for now, Western Force can continue the attack. Tackled by Tossi and Polridakity Stones, but can go from Swain. Knocked on there. Right. Is it just going to be a warning here for the Canes? Kings Park is regularly filled, says Sash. Yeah, they get some pretty decent crowds, definitely for South African derbies. The Wallaroos play next Friday. Arvo against the Fijiana. I did see that that's going to overlap with... Who's playing Friday next week? I can't quite think of it off the top of my head. In fact, rather than just trying to think of it, I can actually go like this. There we go. It is the Highlanders versus Hurricanes on Friday night. So that one will definitely be getting covered. Or is it 2 weeks ahead? It might... Well, it's either next week or the weekend after, isn't it? That they're going to be playing. Devon Flanders disappointed to give away that penalty. Right, Matthew, I'm starting to think either you have been hacked and someone's got your credit card and they're just spamming the super stickers, or I don't know what's happening, but thank you very much. That's now your third. I'm almost forgetting how to speak here. But... yeah, thanks again, Matthew. Yeah. But 3-0 in this match. That's from my partner. Actually, that you are gorgeous, says Matthew. Well, thank you very much, Matthew's partner. I don't know if Sky Sport New Zealand will cover it. Yeah, that's true. They might only have it on Stan Sport, maybe. In that regard. Hi, Hamish says Viral Shorts. Welcome in. I hope you are doing well. It's been an eventful start to this matchup. Not the game itself. It's only 3-0 for the Western Force. But in terms of the chat, you're absolutely welcome, my brother, says Matthew. But yeah, it is thoroughly appreciated. I better tell everyone what that super sticker is as well. It's of the heart with a cheerleader shaking its pom-poms. And then the earlier one was the... is that a lemon and a lime jumping up? Is that what that was? Maybe. Or was the second one a lemon and a lime? The second one might have been a lemon and a lime, in fact. No, sorry, second one was the heart. Getting confused. But Johnny Rova now trying to steal the ball. Western Force told to get out of it with Carlo Tazzano. The Canes, though, can they strike first in this contest? Nice offload from Brad Shields to Hark, and he's held up by Darby Lancaster. I don't want to see that rolling ball junk. Bad rugby. We don't want to see that rolling ball. Oh, no, I read that one. We're absolutely going to talk about South Africa. Suck it up, says Sush. In there too. Nice mark called from from Ben Donaldson. Weather forecast isn't the best for the game, but oh well. And let's go the Force, says Haino. We have a good look at what the stream is about and go back to the start of the comments and see if anyone asks about South Africa. South Africa are playing this weekend though, aren't they? So, I feel like it is relevant in the rugby world. At least it's rugby. It's not like some random squash tournament that's happening. We don't mind whether it's Six Nations talked about, URC. I actually brought up the URC, so it's probably my fault, Jordan. Let's go the Force, says Hano. And also, we've got to remember the Western Force are probably the side that a lot of South Africans support, as they have had the most long-standing relationship with South African players. Quite a few South Africans in Perth as well. Now charging forward here, Jeremy Williams. Going back across to the right. Donaldson to Harry Johnson-Holmes. Trying to get that steal on the breakdown was Delaney. Used to wear headgear, now he doesn't. Not sure what brought that on. Maybe just that little bit more peripheral. And we have got the beer with England. Oh, I'm really shocked. I like cheerleaders that are smoking hot. You said, like, just your partner, not too long. Is your partner a cheerleader? Is that the thing behind it? Because is she not sitting right next to you as you wrote that? Yep, kicking this one up high for Henry Robertson. I misread this game substantially, ladies and gentlemen. Penalty again for the Western Force. This one about 30 metres out on the angle. Flashes were awesome too, bro. This is going to be a sideline call here. What do the Western Force want to do this time? Do they go for the 3 again, or do they kick for the corner? It looked like Brandon Poyanga-Mosa was working his way towards the sideline. Or was he not? He's wiping his hands. Nobody else don't defend these as yet, Samish. They're saying that crying because ZBF got a longer ban than the French, even though the incidents were completely different. To be fair, though, that French player possibly could have had a bit longer on his sentence, couldn't he? No, bro, she gave me a smack for that. I thought she might have, to be fair. It falls too strong, says Sash. Currently 14 minutes remaining in this first half. Again, the Western Force. They're going to go for this line out. 10 metres out from the line. A good position on the field. Surely we get a try before half-time in this game, right? Now trying to get that rolling ball moving in the right direction, being driven backwards a little bit already. Hamish loves us, says Sash. And we've actually got a South Africa versus New Zealand Sevens preview coming out later on in the weekend. Yeah, at about 4 a.m. A minimum 8 weeks for Jagu. Lucky guy, says Hano. Yeah, it could have been much worse. Going off to the right. Sitting about 3 metres out from the try line now for the Western Force. Quick hands from Beale. Goes to George Bridge. He is kind of jockey between that 13 as well as out on the wing for the Force throughout this season. I don't think there should be a timer for the line out. Normally there is, kind of. If you take too long, the referee will give a free kick. It doesn't happen too often, though. But sometimes if they delay it enough, you do get a free kick against you for not throwing it in time. Similar to how you see some sides doing that, like pump, as if they're going to throw and then they don't. Then that is free kick as well. Now backline movement here. Out to Darby Lancaster. One-on-one with Balin Sullivan. It's a great finish down the wing from Darby Lancaster. And now the Western Force lead in this contest 8-0, ladies and gentlemen. Unless you're my neighbour who loves to flash at me. She's in her 70s. Does she do it on purpose, or is she doesn't put the curtains closed? We have got their eye gouge was brutal, says Sash. I talk about South Africa when they're playing, not when they aren't involved. Says bad to the bone. But it's the same as what happens on, like, we've done streams involving 2 South African sides and we've talked about Super Rugby. Like I said, as long as it's something rugby related, like it's all good. We have got there, do you think? Oh no, I read that one about the timer, didn't I? And AC's bad to the bone. Great finish in the corner from Darby Lancaster. Ran it round a little bit as well, making it slightly easier for Ben Donaldson. Force doing well so far. We have got their Force are definitely winning this. And we have got there Matthew shouting everyone beers. Evan C, the man, says the underdog pick. On purpose, my partner tells me to get inside. Off to the left. That one misses away to the side. So I will make the score 8-0 now. And guys, don't talk about France. They're not in the description. We don't go to Savage streams and do that. But, like, I literally just said, though, when we do URC or Six Nations, we have Super Rugby comments all the time. Like, it's just a part of, like, the rugby community. How people will talk about either the games that they're watching or the games that they're excited for. Let's discuss food then, if we can't do URC or France, says Hano. Now, currently, Beale, nice offload on the outside to Jeremy Williams. Goes to Bailey Quinzel, breaks through Roygaard's tackle. Barrett gets him round the bootlaces. Now kicking this one across field. And that one goes into touch. I'd rather talk about France. Says Jordan, but France aren't playing. So by your logic, we're not allowed to talk about them. I come to Aussie and the beers are on me, says Matthew. Whereabouts in Melbourne are you, Matthew, out of curiosity? 95 tests for Australia for Kirtley Bill. Didn't quite bring up the 100. Now line out throw, Devery. Gets it straight to Isaiah Walker, Leowitty. Karefi trying to sneak his way through. Zach Glomax will probably start on the wing, then move into the midfield since he doesn't really have a rugby background. Yeah, he's the big signing in recent times, isn't he? Oh, drop ball from Ben Donaldson. No one putting pressure on him either. Just drops it cold, and this was up, says the AI underdog pick. 10 minutes remaining. In the first half, he had all the time in the world to take this one, Donaldson. It just ended up bouncing on his thigh. Snuck through the fingertips. So far, this has been a very smooth running half. I don't think we've had too many stoppages other than maybe that one where they checked to see if Roygaard had put it down. Just as I say that, we've got a stoppage. I was responding to you when you said about France, says Jordan. I think that we've just learnt you're in a very argumentative mood today, Jordan. And it may be because the Canes aren't going well or because Lauakai isn't in the team, but you do realise there was much more talked about the South African side because of you going on about not talking about the South African side. Like, if you hadn't mentioned it, that topic would have been there and done in less than a minute. But now it's gone on for 10 minutes because you keep on, like, kind of going on about it. And what I said, I'd rather talk about France, says Jordan. And Roy got to start in South Africa, says Sash. I think he would be the choice. No, it wouldn't. It would have. And we have got the, I heard Napier's quite nice. I've never been, says Chi Kiwi. I don't know if I've been to Napier either, to be honest. I know I've been to Palmerston North and I've been to Wellington, but I don't know about elsewhere. And today's college commentators, the comment. Today's college, I'm not sure what that means, Kyle. Now, this one's going to be a scrum reset. You're missing the point. We shouldn't have to listen to their bragging all the time, which it usually is. Go on their streams, says Bad to the Bones. Which part was bragging, though? Like, from the first thing, it was about the Bulls versus Stormers game, that someone had tickets to it because they were excited about the rugby this weekend because I brought that up. And then they said that they're excited to go to the game. And then it became a big deal about something that was literally just a passing comment. Like, I feel like it got blown out of proportion massively. You could have just ignored the comment. Ben Donaldson makes me sad. He's such a talent going forward and so brain dead. He makes a few simple errors, doesn't he? Ben Donaldson, unfortunately. Right, another scrum reset. This is now going to be the third of the same scrum, so I don't think the referee will be too far off having a penalty or maybe just a free kick. Bit of rustiness from the Canes' big stars, says Haino. Yeah, they've got a few returns coming off the bench a little bit later on, but we haven't really seen Karefi get into his work as of yet. The lowest scoring period for the Canes is actually 40 to 60, not just talking about now. And I know that because of the fact that it's not really based off what's happened now. I know that if you go on social media that you hear about how well South Africa have been going, or you go on any sort of preview and you'll hear about it as well. But, like, I feel like that wasn't, like, it could have just been, once again, avoided if we had just taken what was said on the stream for context rather than basing it off what has happened outside of the stream. Make sense? Are we letting our frustration out from how many times they try and make it about themselves? Exactly. Like, it wasn't a time to get annoyed at South Africans for someone saying that they're excited to go to a game. And now, ball's going to be there for the Canes, 12 metres out from the try line. Brad Shields, Braden. Yossi going to be making his way off the bench, maybe for Shields or maybe for Karefi, possibly. Now, going forward. Going away to the right-hand side. Devon Flanders. Oh, that was close to Brandon Payanga. Mosa trying to get the steal about 10 metres out from the line. I need my dabble bets to hit. What are dabble bets, Timmy? What is a dabble bet? And we have got there, I'm stopping now, and I'll start again if they bring themselves up again. Only if it's like if it's something relevant with the weekend. Once again, I'm the one who brought up that the URC was happening. And I asked about when the lineups were being announced. So if you want to get annoyed at anyone, just get annoyed at me. I'm used to it by now. It's a betting app, says Timmy. So who have you backed in this case, Timmy? If it's a try scorer for the Canes, you might be waiting a little while. 35 minutes through at this stage of the contest. Hello, says Hannah. Welcome in. You are doing extremely well. Devery now with the 5 metre line out here for the Canes. So this will be the best chance getting something going. Now trying to roll this one for Devery. Pounces just about. Couple metres out from the line. This has been really good defence from the Western Force throughout the first 34 minutes. Roigard, though, he's on the try line, scores it. And the Canes now, they are back in the game. We have the other Hurricane, says Timmy. Wait, so the Hurricanes just to win? The hats, Proctor, good to see you. Riley and Ruben coming back, should finish strong, says Shane. Yeah, Proctor coming off what was a hat-trick last week to be then out of the lineup this week. He dropped it, did he? We're going to see the replay. He does look like he kind of pulls it from the back, although they may say he still had control of it, Roigard, when he puts that ball down, unless this angle shows something different. So he has it there. He then slides it forward onto the line. I think that's going to be fine for Cam Roigard. You're a great commentator, Hamish. Keep going, mate. I appreciate you. We have there Curtly Bill. He must be at old age pension by now. He's up there in terms of age, but he's still going on the Western Force. He's playing now in the centres rather than the fullback role that he used to. That's going away to the left-hand side, but Geordie Barrett makes the score now 8 points to 5 with 35 minutes gone in this contest. Is Hotham the clear number 2 halfback, or is there someone else? I think it depends on who you talk to and also which region that person is from. I know I was just saying, Sears bad to the bone there. Nice take from Devon Flanders. You are a Canes man, aren't you, bad to the bone from memory? And if so, are they going to get the job done? I have to say, it was a shaky first 35. They didn't really have a huge amount of the attacking chances, but now that they've scored one, aerial challenge there, nicely taken by Fehi Finian-Norfo. Now it's on the side of the Canes again. Maybe they just needed the one to then get rolling. Johnny Rover going away to the right-hand side to Morby. He's got Sullivan with him. Does he decide to use him? No, he just gets driven into touch. Bit of selfishness from Morby there. I don't know what he thought was going to happen there, Morby, either. He just kind of kept on drifting, and then that's when he needed the offload on the inside. Just decided, oh, well, I'll run at them. That's a tidy finish there. Sash Pledger third. When he's back until then, probably Preston or Whakatava. So New Zealand lost to India. We'll see more cricket streams from you. I'm hoping to do the New Zealand-South Africa series that is coming up in the near future, although I won't be able to cover the last game as I'm actually hoping to go to it. But the one, I think it starts on Sunday, the first T20 match. So, yeah, hopefully we're doing that one on the channel. Cortez has had his chance at international level and he fails every time. That one's going to be booted into touch by the Hurricanes, just inside of his 22 for Callum Harkin. So it is not out on the full. 3 minutes remaining of the first half. Who do you think will win? Well, I thought we would have seen a bit more from the Canes, to be honest, at this stage of the match. The Force are starting similar to how we saw up against the Highlanders. Hamish, how would you rate Tossi's half so far? Well, he won a penalty for the Canes at line-out time. He hasn't had a huge amount of carries. Made a few tackles. I have seen him involved in a few alongside Paul Dekity Stone. So he's had a solid enough half. Why don't you have the background picture of McLean Park? Says, what's up, guys? I just went with Sky Stadium, to be honest. It's nothing personal against it. It was a nice, bright photo that I thought looked quite nice. So I just kept it as the background, seeing as it's slightly associated with the Canes. I think his stadium has been weak. His scrum has been weak. Have they lost any scrum penalties, though, yet, the Canes? Or has it just been shaky? Relax, we got a bench to finish it, says Shane. Ball's there for the Force. Should be destroying the scrum, not holding steady, if not slipping back. Although Tom Robertson and Harry Johnson-Holmes are decent scrummagers too, to be fair, for the Force. This one's going to be one to use for Henry Robertson. Going high. And towards the 22. It will come down just outside. It's actually a very good weighted kick. I think it may have come off Harkin. Referee has his flag up. No, they're going to call it as the Hurricanes ball, and they wanted to take it quickly. I was the captain on the Canes. So the captain for this Canes side, it's co-captaincy between Geordie Barrett and Duplessis Karefi. Well, I thought it would be played in Wellington, but due to the your background picture, you lied to me. Says, what's up, guys? My apologies then. Now Devery throws this one in. Duplessis Karefi, ball in hand, 50 seconds remain in the first half. Harkin sends it down the middle of the field. Oh, so that one's skidding on big time. This one's still rolling. Whoever put the ball on the pump, they left it on for a while. That one's gone dead. Harkin would have thought that there was no way that one could have rolled all the way there. But now they're going to have to go back 70 metres to where Harkin kicked that one from. Big chance for the Force at the end of the first half. He's shaking against pretty much non-Wallaby props. That it's not great. Says Jordan, the Canes have done quite good this year already. Says Abel, yeah, they've had a couple big wins. They've also had that loss to the Fijian draw, though a lot of people put that down to the weather conditions for why they weren't able to get their momentum flowing. If they do win this game with a bonus point, they would go to top of the table. Although to do that, they would need 3 more tries than the Western Force. It'd be relatively tricky to do so. Kia ora from Queensland up the Hurricanes, says Craig there. Yeah, of course, Queensland going to be hosting that Reds versus Waratahs game around the corner too. Hopefully it isn't like that Brumbies Reds match and doesn't get delayed by an hour and a half. A lightning free kick going the way of the Western Force. Quick tap taken now. Going away to the left-hand side. Skip pass from Donaldson. This is the danger zone down this left-wing side. Darby Lancaster cuts back inwards. Gets through one. Flanders manages to grab both his legs and double leg him. Penalty one for Duplessis Karefi. They're inside of their own 22. Now 10 metres out from the line. It looks like Isaiah Walker-Leowiri's trying to get this ball quickly. The Canes may just accept this to be half-time here. Or do they go big time downfield? It looked like Geordie Barrett wanted it. Okay, they're going to continue on for a bit longer here, the Hurricanes. Booted into touch by Callum Harkin as they get back towards the halfway line. How many games have the Force won this year, says Abel. At the moment for the Western Force, they are sitting 1 win on the board, I believe. Yeah, 1 from 4. At this point in time, the only game that they have won was up against Moana Pacifica. I've got the Hurricanes minus 9.5, bad bet. Depends. Super Rugby's so unpredictable. So, it's, in a normal scenario, it should be all right. But at the same time, it just seems like it's very hard to judge. There's going to be a penalty going the way of the Hurricanes here around the halfway line. I was born in Auckland, but support the Chiefs, not the Blues. They are like Auckland anyway. Not far away, says Bad to the Bone. And also finished 5-8. Is it like 5-8 points in favour of the Canes? Or this is the halftime score. Still another half remaining. In this case, yeah, tipping the Canes would be the smart thing to do, says Sush. It looks like they're going to continue driving forward again. Not going for the touchline. Or sorry, going for the touchline rather than going for the 3 points. Do you think the Wars will win today? Or you don't follow league? They've got a decent chance. I think that game up against the Raiders is considered pretty 50-50. They're at least in New Zealand for it at Go Media Stadium. So I'd say narrow win for the Warriors will be on the cards. But once again, Raiders are a good side. So they can't really underestimate them. Devery. Oh, ripped away by Beale. That one's booted into touch by Jeremy Williams. And that will be the end of the half now. An extra 3 minutes of play. But it is going to be halftime now in this contest. And the score remains 8 points to 5. I got my rent on the Hurricanes, says Chicken Head. Again, you bring that leaderboard back up. Just 5 seconds, says Abel. 1 second. There we go. That is the score, or leaderboard at this point in time. But go the Canes is Bad to the Bone. And up the tries, Hurricanes. Here, just the one from Cam Roigard. At this stage of the contest, they have got a star-studded bench in this regard. Ruben Love returning from his injury. They've got Higgins there, who has a lot of people impressed with what he's been able to do. Xavier Numia, Tyrell Lomax, Asafo Moore, Warner Durns, the Japanese international. Is the game of the Cake Tin. It is in McLean Park, I believe. For this contest, I've just got Wellington as the background. We have got their Brumbies are first. Says Abel, they are currently, even with that loss to the Reds, they did receive a bonus point from that game for it being extremely close. They did end up losing that game in the final moments after being delayed for those hour and a bit. I want to shoot sports photography. Do you have any idea how I can get a media pass? NRL, AFL, or Super Rugby Pacific? I know that Super Rugby is relatively tricky to get a media pass. I know that Mark, or 2 Cents Rugby, he actually applied for a Blues media pass a couple years ago, I believe it was. But they actually ended up declining it. But I'd say you just need to be able to talk to the right people. I'm not actually too sure who those right people are. But I think their website may have a section about like how to get in contact with certain aspects. How long is halftime for? Normally about 10 to 15 minutes. Their first half actually ran quite smoothly, quite a dull first half. It wasn't the game that I was anticipating. I thought it was going to be a high-scoring try fest. What we had was 2 tries and a 3-pointer taken by the Western Force. There were a few tries that were close to happening, but just not quite able to get over the line. But, yeah, I think second half will have a bit more. Hopefully. Fingers crossed anyway. And at this stage, Hurricanes, even though they are down by 3, they are still considered the slight favourite. 8 of the Chiefs play. Chiefs have got the bye this week, so they won't be playing anyone in this round. In terms of the upcoming games that are happening, these are the 4 that are still to come for this round. The Fijian draw going head-to-head with the Brumbies tomorrow afternoon. Crusaders versus Highlanders. The New Zealand South Island derby taking place at 7:05. And then Reds versus Tars. It's the slightly later game for the Saturday. And then the Blues will be playing Moana Pacifica. Now, all favourites are home sides except for the Fijian draw. They have never beaten the Brumbies in Super Rugby Pacific. A big opportunity to do so here with a few rotational moves there from the Brumbies in their back line. Still overall a very strong looking side going head-to-head with the draw. We have got there. I actually hate the Hurricanes because they're women's team and TJ bringing politics into sport. I like a few specific players. Well, quite a few, but not TJ. And Rain and Napier today, it looks pretty all right at the moment. Maybe a little bit of slipperiness underfoot, though. And I would be homeless if the Hurricanes don't win, says Chicken Head. And Curtly Beale's still playing. I thought he retired. No, he's still going. He had that patch a couple years ago where he had a season off due to some off-field stuff, as far as I'm going to go into it. But it turned out to be incorrect. And so because of that, Beale then coming back into the rugby side of things and joining up with the Western Force. What does the Australian cricket team, the utility for the summer look like? The cricket team, the Aussies, I'm not actually too sure who they've got as of yet. I know that one series that is confirmed is New Zealand versus England in England. Outside of that, though, I'm not too sure who else has got test match side of things happening. Michael Cheika, assistant for the All Blacks, would be good. Michael Cheika is the guy credited with making Argentina good. He turned them around. Should I cash out my rent money for a $300 loss? How much did you put on them in total, Chicken Head? Of course, I definitely wouldn't trust my financial advice. Bookies are ruining sports. I should ban the advertising. Like we did. I won't read that last bit, but I agree that sports betting has made games. Like, the thing is, some people only watch sport to see if they're going to win or lose money. Whereas in the old days, you used to watch sport because you actually liked the sport. You know, if you didn't like the sport, you did, for one, didn't bet on it, but you also just wouldn't watch it. But now people are betting on sports that they're not even watching, that they don't even follow the competition. And even if you do, because it's so unpredictable, you never know. I meant Sigs says there, so as in like cigarettes. The fact that that auto-corrected to the other words is slightly concerning, but I guess it is actually another term for cigarettes, isn't it? But now 5 metres out from the line, they are just showing that try from the Hurricanes. It was breaking off the back from Jacob Devery, tackled low by Carlo Tizzano, and then Royard just seeing the opportunity to be able to finish it off with a bit of a dummy sell. I think the Hurricanes will come home strong in the second half, says Jordan. Just saying there, the try was disallowed. Top performers. You know it's bad when one of the only stats that they've got as a top performer is who had the most offloads. 3 players had 1. Top tacklers, though. Nick Champion de Chris Pigney was the man at the top of the bunch with Rova and Karefi, both with the 8. I don't know why Satner chose to bowl first in the last 10 games. 70% of one batting first on the pitch. Blew a great chance. He's bad to the bone, although New Zealand had won all of their games batting second. India won all their games batting first, but had chased down a record total up against the West Indies the game prior to that semi-final, chasing down 194. So, it's one of those ones that New Zealand could have batted first, and who knows, maybe they only got 150, India chased it down in 10 overs. Like, the Indian side were in great form, and I don't know if it would have mattered what New Zealand did. In terms of the top players just not quite performing with the bat, as well as you could argue with the bowler, I think that India were just the better side on the day. Nonu was older than Bill, surely? Yeah, I think so. Ma'a Nonu's sitting about 43 years old, I think, at the moment for Ma'a. Oh, no, I think I said he was 43 another day, and he wasn't. I think he was actually only like 40. How old is Ma'a Nonu? Ma'a Nonu is... Oh, no, he is 43, sorry. Curtly Bill, I think he'd be 41, wouldn't he? 37. It's weird. Some of these guys feel like they've been around for an absolute eternity, but they're actually not that old. Like, you still see plenty of props who are 37 moving around. I should have lost to us. We would have done better, I hoped. Says Haino. Or you would have had your big game up against New Zealand and then done exactly what New Zealand did in the final, due to South Africa and New Zealand having a tendency to let games slip in playoffs of white ball cricket. Ruben Love better come on for Monday. For Morby. Yeah, Morby's had a couple decent runs here, but he's also had that big moment where he probably should have passed the ball and didn't. I please tell my fantasy player to lock in. And also, I'm just having a sandwich with chicken and barbecue, says Abel. Proteas didn't look up to the semi at all, says Sash. Yeah, Sunday, when we get to see the two sides go head-to-head. I haven't actually seen the squads for them as of yet, but the stats show it's far better batting first. 8 of the last 11 won batting first. How many of those 8 were India, though? Out of curiosity. Because I feel like that's also a factor. Like, who were the teams that won their games batting first compared to who were batting second? The Proteas looked past the Black Cats and got done. And I got 11 canes, 9 canes, 12 canes, 7 for the Force. So you got Carlo Tizzano, Geordie Barrett, Cam Royard, and also Fihi Finianofo. He's a man's name that we didn't really say throughout this first half. And up the Crusader says Cooper. And there as well, top performers, kicking meters made, 240 at the moment for Ben Donaldson. Didn't come to lose, says Chris. Yeah, although they've got time. We've got to remember the Western Force, they were behind at halftime in the last contest up against the Highlanders. They were in front at halftime. They went on to lose that game. So the Hurricanes comeback is not impossible here, but they've certainly got to think about it. I bought a ticket on the Tizzano train. We have got there, Fehi is an idiot, leaving at 23. I mean, if he's got money that can be made overseas, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, players have to do what's right for them. And Fihi Nofo, maybe, he's had that experience of traveling around the world with the 7 side of things. Maybe he just wants a different environment. Maybe he wants to get out, explore the world, and have some opportunities overseas. You can't really blame him for taking a contract that had money available. We have I play cricket and rugby. Says Cooper there. Which one are you better at, Cooper? Do you think you're better at cricket or better at rugby? Yeah, but surely he wants to be an All Black at some stage? Maybe, but like you said, he's 23. He's got so much time to be able to develop as a player. He could be back at 26, 27 and still have an opportunity. He obviously realised it was too close to the World Cup, that he wasn't going to get into the selection side of things, and who knows, maybe he would have. But, there are a lot of good left wingers in the world. Definitely in New Zealand at the moment. So, he's going overseas, making some money, getting experience to come back better and still have a chance of that 2031 Rugby World Cup perhaps. He's only had 15 caps for the Hurricanes, which just shows how strong he is with the fact that a French side has snapped him up at this stage already. And good day, Hamish. Hope you're well up the Canes. Says Daryl there. Cricket, I'm way better, especially batting. Says Cooper there. Okay, so solid batsman. in that regard. Hopefully a little bit of your batting rubs off on the Black Caps for the upcoming one up against the South Africans in the T20 series. Yes, but if he comes back, he can't expect to be first picked. He has to realise Tangitau is better than him. So would you not say that that's what he's currently realised too, Jordan? Is he not at the moment in the scenario everyone's talked about Caleb Tangitau being the bolter, Leroy Carter also being up there? Maybe Fehi Whinianofo realised that a lot of people put him as third or fourth out on that left wing side. So why wouldn't you go for a deal that gives you more money while you wait for your opportunity? I played rugby, cricket, softball and league back in the 80s. See, it's bad to the bone there. I'm going to lose my house if the Hurricanes don't win. I mean, even if they do win, though, it should give you a valuable life lesson, which is don't bet on Super Rugby and maybe don't bet in general. Because it's just too unpredictable, live sport these days. Sash, that's me. Says Daryl there too. The second half of this contest, I would say, is not going to be a mile away. We've had about an 11-minute halftime break at this point in time. Just showing, hopefully, the last of the ads too. The hydration specialist, says Sash. Do let me know, ladies and gents. What's your end score prediction? I don't know how rugby works, which is exactly why you shouldn't be betting on it. And we've had it time and time again. People come in who have never watched a game of rugby, who don't know what Super Rugby is. They come on the stream, they go, I've put all this money on this site. Is that the right choice? We go, no. They end up losing like thousands of dollars. Like the amount of overseas income that Super Rugby must make in terms of the betting agencies must make from people who don't actually know what rugby is. Because even the ones who know what rugby is, it's too unpredictable. Wires are underway, by the way, says the Lim Report. Yeah, would have just started up against the Raiders in this case. I was considering jumping on for the second half of that game, but then I felt like it would be weird to do the second half and not do the first. I worked too hard to gamble. So yeah, there's Daryl in there too. But now this matchup just about to start up again. And let's go. Good luck, Warriors. He's a troll. He's not actually going to lose his house because of betting, says Jordan. The thing is, though, like, he may not lose his house, but he's definitely going to lose his rent if they were to lose here, although they should come back into the game, of course. But we've had it time and time again. People come in and say, am I going to win? And, yeah, sadly have to tell them no. No one knows how rugby works, not the players nor the official, definitely not the spectator, says Sash. Yeah, there's so many different intricate laws that happen throughout the matches as well. And also, we'll have to jump out to watch China Sprint qualifying F1 before 8:30, says the Lim Report. There's so much sport on at the moment, isn't there? They're just showing there 17-17, the score the last time that these two sides played. And tell you what, at McLean Park at the moment, there is a chance that we could see a draw yet again, a low-scoring one between these two sides, extremely even. Oh, okay, Ruben Love has made his way out onto the field. That is for, I think that's Balin Sullivan, who has been taken off. Wonder what type of rearrangement we will have. I believe Ruben Love will probably be playing either 15 or Harkin will go to 15 or maybe, either way, Morby's going to wing. I can't see a way that they keep Morby at 15. MG Sullivan, my fantasy, says Jordan, yes, he's completely gone from this one. Do see no changes, I believe, for this Western Force side either, but we are just about underway. And P1 with Matt and Tommy. And Chinese F1 this weekend. George Bridge looks like he's been through a blender with the amount of scratches and marks on his face at the moment when his halftime over. Pretty much now. So second half just about to kick off. You're an obvious idiot if you bet a substantial amount of money on something you know nothing about. Says Jason there. This one's going to be knocked back by the Canes. Porirakiti Stones takes the catch. And now the Canes, some early possession in the second half. Probably good for the Canes. Aren't playing in Wellington tonight. The weather is awful tonight, wet and cold, says the Lim Report. And yeah, it doesn't look too bad at McLean Park at this point in time. So, yeah, like you say, probably beneficial for them. Definitely because of how they played in the wet weather conditions in Fiji. That ball's knocked on by Porirakiti Stones. Ball's there for Brandon Paengamosa. It's going to be an advantage against 8 gold. That is going to be Devon Flanders penalised again in this contest. Although for now, the penalty advantage doesn't play. Beale kicks it in behind. They'll go back now for that penalty. Shooting early. They want to stretch it, or at least tighten the 80. And penalty says Jordan, and that's how some people bet. I think the Hurricanes one more touchdown. Now I'm thinking you are trolling because, it's definitely not a touchdown. And we have got there, who do you want to win? I mean, I think that the Force have shown in this game that they are strong enough to compete with this Hurricane side. But the Canes should win. But it's just very hard to tell. They've still got enough time here, the Western Force, to score a few more tries along the way. Force with the line out. 30 up from the line. They have got the man right on this near touch line. That is Darby Lancaster. So maybe some sort of crossfield kick could be on the cards here. Oh, Safua Moore. Oh, sorry, not a Safua Moore. He's not quite on the field as of yet. Devery was chasing after that one instead. Darby Lancaster. Oh, it must have been the other winger. Must be Kwinslow who they've got on the far side because Lancaster was right next to that breakdown. Now back across to the right. Cutting back in was Will Harris for his first carry. And back right. Brandon Paenga-Mosa. Magiazell up in Auckland. Says our underdog pick. Now Donaldson goes back across to Kurtley Beale. Of course, they're going to have a game between the Blues and Moana in Auckland, but now currently the Wars are playing. Carlo Tazzano. Again, a great tackle. Donaldson moving it back across. It's a slow, methodical build. Oh, nice run there from Ben Donaldson. Just couldn't quite link up. Now left-hand side, Robertson goes to Tazzano. I felt like the Canes will win. Oh, penalty goes the way of the Western Force, though the discipline of the Hurricanes slightly letting them down a little bit. Donaldson probably has decent fantasy points, says Jordan. And the Canes will win because they have won a lot of times and they got strong people on their team also because the Force are almost in last, says Abel. And I need the Hurricanes to break some barriers. Shot is called here for the Western Force. Being relatively sensible per se. Oh, that's good, says Cooper. Well, hopefully, the rugby in the second half. We haven't had a huge amount of points scored from these two sides. Save your gambling money, idiots, for increasing petrol prices. So here's Jason. Yeah, I think it's already gone up about 30 cents for petrol and about 60 for diesel, hasn't it? I was talking to someone and they said that the price of filling up their diesel tank has doubled. Now, I'm not sure how that works when it's only gone up 60 cents extra a litre. They were never the best at maths, but yeah, not quite that stage yet. Donaldson kicks this one over. It's going to make the score now after 44 minutes, 11 points to 5. It's kind of hard to see who wins, so I drive a Tesla. Says, check well, you might have to live in it soon by the sounds of your betting habits. Did you see we've got a fuel traffic light system? Says the Lim report. I actually did not. So is that like how it's like levels, or is it like, I guess traffic lights, you got your red light, your green light, your orange light, right? Right, Warner Durns and also Xavier Numia, the Safua Moore too, have all made their way onto the field. Lomax the same. So it seems like the Hurricanes are making drastic changes here. Big knock on from the Force, claimed by Roygar. Back across, a Safua Moore. Moving it on, Johnny Rova in the middle of the field. All told to get out of here. And multiple times, Will Harris told not to go for it. I almost missed out on the game. Is Ruben Love in already? He has already made his way onto the field, yes. They did make that change relatively early. Just like some of the other changes too. Duplessis, almost went straight through for Duplessis. Karefi just dragged down by Harry Johnson-Holmes. Now Barrett. Brad Shields, short side. Can't quite get the offload away. Roygar back across to Duplessis. Karefi 5 metres out from the line. Durns joins the breakdown to keep it on the side of the Canes. Roygar offloads there to Brad Shields. Oh, that's poor defence, but obstruction there from the Hurricanes. They did already have the penalty advantage, though. And remember, Hamish, we have to hold, or have to holds after all. When you speak out of their bottom one. How we have got there watching from Abu Dhabi, says Zakaya there. And also, I'm cooked, guys. I want the Canes to win, but the Force have got a little lead, so says Abel. The Force have been really competitive in this match. And I'll say it once again, from the start, I thought that they were going to be similar to the Waratahs last week. How they just have, a few too many mistakes early. Very angry that there isn't a game after this today. Says Haino. It's going to be a bit weird, isn't it? Only having the one game for the Friday night, but 3 games tomorrow that are taking place. Of course, if you're keen for that Reds Waratahs game, let me know, Haino. Warner Dearns takes nicely. Now looking to get the rolling ball marching forward, although it has collapsed pretty quickly. There is another advantage for the Hurricanes. Right. Fihi Nofo will be waiting patiently way out on the wing here. It's whether or not the Canes can get it to him or whether they keep on using their forwards. A suffer one more. 5 metres out from the line. Flanders, quick hands, Barrett. Now across Harkin. Needs the skip pass and that's gone forward. Floats a little bit too close to the goal line. And Fihi Nofo receives the pass. That does not count. I'll play in cricket tomorrow. How many runs will I get? What grade do you play in, Cooper? How many balls do you get to face? I know that for B grade, you get to face normally 20. For A grade, you get to face, I believe it's 35. So is it one of those 2 grades, or is it an older grade where you get to face as many as you like? We have there, it's 10 or 11:10 a.m. here. We're on spring break. So we'll love another game after this one, says Zakaya there. We'll place the Crusaders on the leaderboard again, says Abel. At the moment, they are sitting midway. I believe 7th at this point. 8th at this stage. I take from Warner Dearns and line out time. Flanders joins to the back. Looks like a suff one more. He is going to do the same. Roy Guard thinks about using it short side, straight through the middle. Great defence from the Western Force. Lomax. Now Isaiah Walker, Leowiri. Couple metres out. Do they go wide this time? No, Shields goes himself and scores the try. The Canes get back into this game. It's got a close kind of feel to it at the moment. 25 balls, bro. I'm in A grade. Says Cooper. Okay, so 25 balls. You say you're a better batsman. I'd say 25 balls. If you don't go out, we'll give you 23 runs. Somewhere around there. Did he jump over any players? No, he went round the side of Darcy Swain there. Oh, he kind of hurdled an offside player, so I don't know if that counts. Let's go. Says Chicken Head, and yeah, boys, says Skull. And Moana Pacific are last, even though they have been doing good. Says Abel. Now Geordie Barrett to line up this kick to give the lead to this Hurricane side. It does go over. Making the score now after 50 or so minutes. 12 points to 11. I believe that has to be the first time that the Hurricanes have actually been leading in this match now. Similar to what we saw for the Force up against the Highlanders. Like I said, a little bit of a momentum shift in the second half. Sounds like the Force are now making some changes. It's going to be kicked off long. It will be Seth Fargasi who makes his way on for Harry Johnson-Holmes. And Canes are back in first year, boys. See he's able. Ball is there. They've been told to place it. And yes, see he's bad to the bone. Roy Guard now. Getting towards the sideline. Plenty of height on it, and it does find touch. The fact that both of these sides have made so many early changes means that there won't be a lot of stoppages later on in this game. It will be a test of level of fitness for these teams. And Force a sleeper hit team. Got some great players, says the Lim report. Yeah, when they play as a unit. They've got Tazano, does extremely well. They've got Brandon Paenga-Mosa, who has his own moments. Bailey Quinzel's a strong winger. Lancaster's got pure pace. You got the experience of Beale in the midfield. Donaldson's a bit of X-factor. Well, that ball is there for Robertson. Go away to the right-hand side. Now Donaldson shifting on once more. Remember, a lot of people say they bet, but are just trying to feel relevant. Says Jason. And Dylan Peach as well, says Jordan. And I said my whole team gets out. I get to face more balls because I retire, says Cooper. Yeah, that's a good point. You'll get to go back in, won't you? If you are one of the top order batsmen. Now, wide cut out pass out to Darby Lancaster. Decides to go for the chip in behind. Bit of space, but the Canes do have Ruben Love back there to be able to cover. Gives it to Roygar. Tries to run it out. Now, Geordie Barrett sells the dummy round Bill. Space on the outside. Morby goes to Harkin. Kicks it in behind. It's got just enough on this one to take it to the 5 metre line. George Bridge under a lot of pressure. Morby gets cleaned out of the breakdown and the penalty awarded to the Hurricanes. Great chase. Ball's possibly being thrown around as well. He needs to be back, says Jordan. I think he is very safe. All quick tap taken by Cam Roygar. Going out wide. They had Johnny Rover. They won't use him. Devon Flanders goes through. And the Canes get another in quick succession. I should have picked Flanders. I was thinking about it, says Jordan there. Now, 2 quick fire tries for this Hurricanes team. 10th of the career for Devon Flanders. And how quickly this game has completely turned around now. Force, they were leading at halftime. And it's just gone away from them here. Initially, it was good work in the breakdown, but then sealing off from the Western Force. Anyone who misses this or missed this doesn't know rugby. And the Canes have finally arrived, says the Lynn report. And Canes are cooking, obviously. Those little switches they have made as well. We've got to remember, they have made about 5 changes at the start of the second half. We see Ruben Love out there now. We see in the forward pack, the change in the front row, all 3 men going off for Numia Devery. He's made his way off for Asafwa Moore. And also we see Tyrell Lomax out there as well. Warner Durns, he is on the field. Lovely try, says Zakiah there. The Force, they now find themselves down by 8. It sounds like there are some changes that are about to take place as well for this Western Force side. So they are trying to slightly go into safe mode here. I'm watching the Wires. How's Love going so far? He's only touched the ball about once or twice. Like, he hasn't had any big runs, hasn't had any big tackles as of yet. Okay, but on more pressure. Finish the business, says Shane. Now they're in a position here, the Hurricanes. If they score themselves one more try, they will then get themselves the bonus point or the potential of by the end of this game. Why Hurricanes Lucy's cooking, says Cooper. Yeah, they're very strong. Duplessis Karefi, the only Lucy to not score for the Hurricanes at this point in time, but there is still time remaining. So as long as they don't take him off the field for Braden Yossi, he might get the chance. But Franco Molina, the Argentine international, coming on for Will Harris. Lomax and Loaki are in the same boat for me, both extreme scrummages. The Force are getting Kane now, says bad to the bones. I love your streams, man. You're doing you're good at doing them. I keep it up, says Abel. And we have got plenty more coming up this weekend. More Super Rugby, Six Nations, URC, Sevens, T20. Also coming up on the channel too. On the way left-hand side, Donaldson. The flat ball. Now left again. Chance for the Force to fire back in. Donaldson going for the grubber in behind. This one's going to keep on rolling. And it goes dead. And go right back to where it was. The Hurricanes would have to be disappointed if they lost this game. Bloody Force are an absolute underachievers year after year. Look at the list and look at their results, says Paul Elliott. Yeah, they're always that side. I always compare them a little bit to someone like the Waratahs in terms of the last couple of years. How, they may get an absolute hiding in some of their games, but they also push some of the top teams. Last year, they drew with the Hurricanes, 17-17. So I think they're actually stronger than they were last year. It's just more of that case of which Force side shows up mentally and physically. Come on, Tyrell, bro. That's going to be the scrum feed here for the Hurricanes. 25 minutes still remaining on the clock. One's going to be fed in. The big push there from the front row as Flanders gets the penalty advantage, and running off the back now as Cam Roygaard offloads to Duplessis Karefi. Gets through one. Moving towards the halfway line. Extra meters here for the Canes. Roygaard to Love. Now Barrett looping back around. Gives it back to Love here. Finiar Norfo. Cutting inwards. How good is Brad Shields? The fact that he is one of the veterans of this team and still playing the way that he is, I always find it thoroughly impressive. Like, he's still got a couple years in him too, I think. What Lomax just did there, Lucky is the exact same. Says Jordan, Force underrated, and tomorrow in cricket, I'll get 23 runs for you. Of course, if you have the opportunity to get more than 23, do get more. I'm sure your side will appreciate it a lot if you score a few extras. In fact, just get yourself a 50. If you get to bat again as well, you have the opportunity to do so. Nice hands there from Isaiah Wakaliawiri. Bit of a poor pass there from Barrett, but it still stays on the side of the Canes. Fihi, Finian Norfo, chipping in behind, wants the bounce of the ball. It sits up for Lancaster. And they'll go back now for the goal line dropout. It's just everywhere. Workhorse 6 says Sash. And also just that hard, old school 6 as well. And in fact, in some regards, other than the fact that he's kind of retired from international rugby, he could have theoretically, at times with how he's been playing, been the answer to 6. Looks like Duplessis Karefi. He's got a bit of an injury here in his leg. That would have been from trying to pump him or keep on running while having a man attached to it. Are also better than they were last year, not so much away from home. Go the Canes Kia ora from far north Queensland. So here's the real Ando there, welcome in. And yeah, on their given day, they're definitely a handy side. Looks like Duplessis Karefi's going to try and play through the injury just for now. Kicking this one in behind. And it's just going to roll a bit too far. Bury forces it. Even back in the Nathan Sharp days. They'll beat the top team one week and get a hiding the following week. Hard to watch them. Was a member for a few years, but the old heart can't take it, bro. And that is understandable. Like, when you watch a side do so well one week and you go, right, they're good. They're back. Or they're at their peak, and then the next week they lose by 40. Like, it's just one of those ones that you've definitely got to be committed to the side, don't you? And at the end of the day, you can only commit so much. The ball's still going to be there. Another penalty advantage going the way of the Hurricanes. They're starting to collect them in the second 40. Now, Ruben Love thought about a cross kick. Gives it to Johnny Rova instead. Offload there. Barrett. Good hands to Morby. We have got the dig champion to Chris Bigney. He hasn't done much this match, though. The likes of even a Carlo Tazzano, we haven't seen a huge amount. He's doing F1 commentary this weekend. It's going to be painful, says the Lim Report. For Jacques Villeneuve. I don't actually know who that is. It's another penalty now to the Canes. Out in front of the post. Chance for 3, but I think the corner's the more enticing option. Johnny Rover just having to go and put his boot back on. Like I said, the Hurricanes, they've had a lot of control throughout the second half when it comes to possession. Right, full team meeting there with Ruben Love, Cam Royard and Geordie Barrett. And the choice is the corner. Canes loose growing into the match. But Force loose falling off, says Sash. Yeah, we haven't seen too much of... Well, even someone like a Franco Molina. He's just made his way on to replace Will Harris. He now has to be the man who's heavily involved throughout the last 20 minutes. They are not out of this game, the Force. Although conceding one more try would put them a long way towards it. They do have to be clinical here. Ready to throw it in. Asafwa Moore. Look, Hurricanes, I'm warning you. If you don't use my boy Lucky, my Highlanders will take him. Says Jordan. Now rolling backwards there for the Canes. Although it looks like Darcy Swain just in through the back, they've said. Geordie Barrett, Johnny Rova tries to spin through. Look, we have got there. Kick the points, man, says Shane. It's Cam at the 5 metre red zone. He did score a try when they were only 5 metres out. Harkin goes through and scores the try for the Hurricanes. And that now should almost put this game to bed. Callum Harkin, flat attack and run from him. Running the line that normally you'd see from one of the big loose forwards or maybe even a lock. But Roygaard just patiently waiting for him to run on through. And the attack and run next to Lomax. And Harkin manages to score. The risk-reward factor there for the Canes was high. Managed to get themselves nice try there. Isaiah Walker-Leawiri trying to involve the opposition halfback Nathan Hasty in the celebrations. That's poor pillar defence here. Massive gap there for Harkin to be able to run through. Hurricanes penetrating the 9 channel and flooding to release the outside, says Sush. Now 19 minutes left. Geordie Barrett gets the kick over. It's going to make the score now 26-11 in favour of the Hurricanes. This is a side that were down at half-time 8 points to 5. And now it's looking like they're probably going to struggle not to hit 40. And good morning, mate. Says Pleasure. Welcome in. You are doing extremely well. I hope you are excited for the big weekend of rugby ahead. This one's kicked off high. Geordie Barrett takes it inside of the 22, who's slowly grown into this game. Geordie Barrett going to be the most overrated 12 ever, says Krotimus. I don't know about ever. There's been some pretty overrated 12s in the world. We have got there more scrums, please, says Jordan. Ben Donaldson, tackled low by Xavier Numia. Zaiwaka Leowiri. Sure the referees won't miss him when he goes to Benetton. Boy, he's been an annoyance throughout this matchup, as he normally is. Now Hasty going away to the left-hand side. Donaldson moving it on to the outside, short ball. Picking up with Jeremy Williams. G'day, Hamish and everyone watching the Wars. The Force been going better than expected. They had a solid first half. Second half, though, there's just been a lot of problems, I would say. Like, they've missed their tackles. They've left gaps. Geordie was great for Leinster, says Zakaya there. Rugby is the gayest sport in the world, says Tyler. What's your top 5, Tyler, out of curiosity? What type of sports do you put in that category? And normally people don't rank that type of thing. So I guess, like, do you have a lot of experience in that department and that's how you know which ones are high and what ones aren't? We have got there Ugg Swain. I'll never forgive him, says Zakai. That's the Quintupai situation in it. Yeah, Leinster is in the Farmers League, says Jordan. But 17 and a half minutes remaining now. Bonus point already on the cards here for the Hurricanes. Oh, referee wants another restart. 2016, the world was a really poor beach volleyball, and Leinster had 13 British and Irish Lions, full team of internationals, so a pretty bad comparison, says Scrotimus. Now Braden Yossi and Riley Higgins, 2 men that are about to make their way out onto the field. Question is it going to be for the slightly injured Kirifi? 11 primed and ready for his Highlanders debut. Yeah, they've given him a few weeks in that Highlanders B side. Just to get him improving. That is the free kick now. Taken by Roygaard. Higgins is legit. I like that guy. Now Johnny Rover. He's had a couple injuries, Higgins, which have been unfortunately timed. Oh, was that a knock-on from Roygaard in the breakdown? The referee says no. Now Geordie Barrett passes across to Harkin. Another penalty advantage against the Western Force era. Safua Moore, tackled by Fargasi. A bit happier this week. Got the Cheltenham Gold Cup. First today, though. Horse racing. Says Fleshin. We have got there not even an Olympic sport. It is. Rugby sevens is an Olympic sport, which is a form of rugby, which has a lot of the same laws as rugby union. But I guess outside of rugby at the Olympics, they don't have rugby at the Olympics. I see what you're saying. You would think that the likes of Bridge, Beale, and Swain, the leaders would pull these boys together, pull your stuff together. Higgins, break a leg. We've missed you. Says Shane. I love an any at the Highlanders. The Argentine wave cometh. Yeah, there's quite a few Argentines in Super Rugby. Beale isn't there to lead, bro. Nothing to do and places to go enjoy. Glad to see the Canes are on the upside of the scoreboard. And we have got there, thanks for the commentary for tonight. For the test in the past and for the future, bloody good stuff. You aren't bad on the mic either, says LJ.A. Wellington. Right, Brad Shields will make his way off alongside Callum Harkin as the two switches that the Canes have decided to make. A long time no see, says Baden. Welcome in. Now, short ball from Roygaard goes to Geordie Barrett. 5 metres out to Zano on that ball. Lightning quick, he was going for it, says the ref, but the ball is still on the side of the Canes. Pick and go from Lomax. Only a couple metres out. Fihi Finianoff, a long way off his wing to be able to help protect that ball. Karefi looking both ways. He might take this on, no, instead gives it off to Warner Durns. Should be dragged down, the knees are. And now the knee is down. Told to release him, and there is a knock on. Any multi for the first game tomorrow? As in like the betting on the Fijian draw one? I wish my Argentinian players would join Super Rugby teams. I do miss the Higuares. And Jack Taylor says, Jordan, my teacher supports the Highlanders. I can't wait to piss them off when the Crusaders win, says Cooper. Just showing that hype package for Crusaders Highlanders taking place tomorrow. Will be an exciting game. Only separated by 3 points the last time those two sides played in Christchurch. That was near the end of last Super Rugby Pacific. Cam Milley had the opportunity to kick the shot at the post to go to Golden Point. Narrowly missed it. If Bill wasn't there to show example, then what is he doing there because he's not doing much else, says Paul. And also Jack Taylor says Jordan. 14 minutes remaining in this contest now, though. We are just getting ready for that scrum. There is a slight injury to Darcy Swain. And just why there was the stoppage. Love when it gets further into autumn and winter and you can see all the steam and breath, says Jordan. Exactly, Bill has passed it, taking up space, says Sash. So who would you put in that number 12 jersey for the Force instead of Bill? Out of curiosity. Who do you got to win tomorrow? Waratahs or the Reds? Well, I think the Reds, momentum-wise, have a good chance. Definitely with the fact that the game's taking place in Brisbane as well. But the Waratahs were beaten badly by the Canes. So, yeah, I'd probably say the Reds. Oh, TMO here. A decision about to be made. This one could be a substantial moment in this game. Is it Isaiah Walker-Leawiti who's in trouble? And Cheltenham. It involves meeting mates and a pub, drinking, gambling, and shouting. Watching Nags run and jump. They used to have Olympic 15s, Rugby 15s in the Olympic, but none of the good sides showed up, hence why the US are reigning Olympic Rugby 15s gold medalists. Right, we're going to see it now. Isaiah Walker-Leawiti runs in a long way back and does hit Darcy Swain in the head. Up the wires, says Baden. And is he? That's very typical of you. It is really for Isaiah Walker-Leawiti. He's never been known as the most disciplined player out there on the turf. Runs in from so far away as well, which makes it slightly worse. When is the Rugby Sevens? It starts from 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Why Argentine Higuares is not in Super Rugby anymore? I think it was just down to the travel side of things. Was the predominant one. Isaiah Walker-Leawiti. He is going to be yellow carded. He was all smiles earlier on. He's still got a smile on his face now, even though he's making his way off the field. Will you be live this weekend? We've got plenty of streams. Super Rugby, Six Nations, Sevens, all sorts. Still to come on the channel, but a good kick downfield from Ben Donaldson. And Jordy Filion also will make his way on for Cam Roigard. I think that's all of the changes now made by the Hurricanes. They haven't got any other switches that can be made. Are we live for the first game or nah? Is that Fijian draw versus Brumbies that you're talking about as the first game? Or you're talking about the Sevens? Because first game in the Sevens is 3 a.m. Fiji versus Argentina, but there is a overlap there. Oh, big pick up from Warner Durns, and he scores the try for the Hurricanes, his first in a Canes kit. He's taking a little bit too long with the kick there. I get credit for smashing the grub named Swain. Warner, you are on stand down, buddy. Says Johnny, we're going to see it here, though. Warner Durns gets the charge down, pushes off Donaldson. And that is probably one of those moments that people have talked about for Donaldson in terms of up and down. But it's charged down. And then Warner Durns just pins the ears back. Almost got foot trip, which would have been a very interesting call had it been the case. Warner, you a stand down. And Ozzy, damn night, says the AI underdog pick, and that will be enough. Isaiah Walker-Leawiti celebrating that try too. I think he's just happy that his yellow card didn't cost them. If the 1924 Invincibles were at the 1924 Olympics, no way. USA would have won gold. Will you be covering Bulls versus Stormers game tomorrow? Certainly will be. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of streams in a row or throughout that night. Geordie Barrett misses away to the left-hand side. That will keep the score at 31 points to 11. Did Fiji beat Brumbies last year? No. So Fiji and draw have never beaten the Brumbies in Super Rugby. Hurricanes win as a win for the little man, says Sock. The crazy thing is, you look at the scoreline, right? With 10 minutes to go, you'd say, okay, Hurricanes have dominated this game. But in reality, they only had 5 points at halftime. They have dominated the second half, which has made all the difference. The bench have really made the impact too. Proven there with Warner Dearns scoring the try. Whereas the Brumbies playing tomorrow, they are playing in Fiji for that matchup. Told to use it there for Geordie Filion. Almost a free kick against the Canes for Xavier Numia joining late. One's going to go high. Nice take there from Hasty. Sits down Johnny Rova. Passes on the outside here for the Force. It should be a try. And Darby Lancaster for the scorer. Scores it, and that now makes it a bit more interesting. As the Canes, they do still have that lead. They also still have the bonus point. But if they have one more try against them, it would take it away. The best Super Rugby stadiums for seeing steam and breath is Dunedin, Christchurch, Hamilton and Canberra. And well, an aimless kick leads to a try. I haven't seen that before, says G New Zealand. And a force of nature, says Sock. It's a good finish too, and a big bump off from Nathan Hasty. Needs a little bit of credit for the way that he set down Johnny Rover. And then getting it out wide to Darby Lancaster to finish it off himself. Now, kicking this one, Donaldson hasn't got it over. They are still down by 15 points. What do you reckon the score will be for the second game? I hope it's separated by 5 or less. Okay, because of late movement from Force 5, it means that it is going to be just a yellow card for Isaiah Walker-Leawiri. Geordie's a beanpole. They get smoked in contact, kicks way too much, and a terrible record in the AB, so there's that, says Crotimus. I didn't realise we were still talking about Geordie Barrett. I thought that was the news from about 15 minutes ago. We have got there, that's red for sure. It's like they are scared to give red cards, says Jordan. And does the Crusaders need to win tomorrow to keep their season alive? It would help. They are currently sitting in 8th at the moment in the overall standings. The Highlanders in 7th, slapped back by Fihi Finianofo. Now told to use it again. Hasty goes back across to Jeremy Williams. That slipped through the hands of Carlo Tazzano. Then the knock on from Johnny Rova. So it will now be the scrum feed for the Hurricanes. Yeah, Geordie is bad, but you know who's even worse? It's going to be Pasilio Tossi, isn't it? Yeah, there it is, Tossi. Bowden, says Crotimus. And let's go the Canes, says K Slade. Yeah, they've done well so far throughout this game, the Hurricanes. And to keep that bonus point intact. If the Canes concede one more, they lose the bonus point. And this matchup, Hamish, says K Slade, doing well. Excited for what we're going to see throughout this weekend. There are plenty of matches still to come. I will mention at the moment, the one match that may be, or the first match that is a 50-50 for us at this stage, is Fijian draw versus Brumbies. I do want to cover that match, but at the same time, I think my cricket side may only have 10 at the moment, so I may get called into action and have to play for them first, but I would be home in time for Crusaders Highlanders. It's still a wait-and-see situation, though. They may have already found someone. What time does New Zealand play on Sunday? If you're talking about the New Zealand Sevens, their first game's at about 4:10 a.m. Now, Braden Yossi offloads to Geordie Filion. It looked like a forward pass, but it is going to be play on. Devon Flanders, low pass to Duplessis Karefi. Why are you guys saying how Geordie is bad? What have you all achieved? Dying to know. What you've represented New Zealand in, says Zakaya. No, he means cricket, I bet, says Jordan. Now going off to the left-hand side, Lomax. Currently still 4 minutes remaining of that Hurricanes yellow card. Great steal in the breakdown from Carlo Tazzano. I know team could replace Yamish. If you've seen my batting this year, you'd probably say otherwise. I think I'm only averaging about 15 or something for this season. God forbid anyone should have an opinion on the Barretts, right? Says Crotimus. Now, it's a great kick downfield. It's actually a 50-22, or sorry, not quite a 50-22, but a equivalent of, because the Western Force will have themselves the line out. Going well, Kane, says Moa. In fact, can I actually see my average this year? In the 40-over comp, hang on, that's not right. It says I've taken 10 wickets. That's better than this year. For this season, apply Oh, it's a brutal one. I've had 3 batting innings and I averaged 5.33 in the 40 over comp. I was better in T20. Now Carlo Tazzano getting close to the line. 2 metres out. Getting over the ball there. Almost a steal for Braden Yossi. The hasty goes back across to the left. Chance here for the Force. Hanging on to that one nicely for Jeremy Williams. Played a heavy part on the attack and they score again. It's Ekuasi off the bench. Or is it? No, sorry, it's not. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of 5-4, who did score that try. And now, bonus point gone for the Hurricanes. And the comeback is still on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. 6 minutes remaining. Of course, Donaldson needed to get that last one over when it came to the conversions. Lapiti, the Tasman man. Yeah, good finish from Lapiti 5-4 in that case. And also getting Semiro's sword tomorrow. And Kane's doing Kane's things. And how's Ruben Love and Tyrell Lomax doing? Lomax has been involved in a lot. Love's just done what he's needed to. How cold does it get in winter? Not any colder than anywhere else. I think Dunedin is colder. An 8-point margin now between these two sides. They do still need another one. What time do you got cricket? If I was playing, it would be... we'd start at 1. So it should be all finished by around 5:36, but it would mean that we'd miss the draw again. But once again, they may already have someone, but I definitely don't want to leave them one short for the match, seeing as if we win this one and another team lose, we're through to the semi-finals. Was Finn Allen not available? Says Chicken Z. Is into play for my team. I think they'd have him. Oh, knock on there from Tazzano, and that's a brutal one there for the Western Force, just dropping it at the wrong moment. Inside of their own 22 there. Benny Sears is a good man. Sears Jordan. Will Warbrick join the Wars? I really don't know much about the whole transfers and who's going where and who might be signing where for the NRL. It's definitely something that I need to follow a little bit more. Scrum fee now about to take place. 1 second, we'll go like this. And like that. And this is what the Force do. Come back when the game is nearly over. They did not come out of the shed 20 minutes after halftime. Yeah, they did struggle for a long period of time. The start of the second half. Braden Yossi now 10 metres out. I see he's not in the squad to face our Rivergo. I'm guessing some club overseas got him locked in. Maybe, and also I think they're giving a few of those guys a bit of a rest, aren't they? Just heading into the... because T20 World Cup was pretty brutal. They had a lot of games back to back to back. Geordie Phil Ewan now passing away to the left-hand side. Tyrell Lomax. What do you think of Zach Lomax to the Force? Says K Slade. It's a good signing. Hopefully he goes well, and it isn't like an Israel Leota situation, because Moana signed him and then he was out pretty much first game with an ankle injury. Still not far out from the goal line. Warner Derns pick and go once more. Bad trade for the Force. Is it? I don't mind it. I like seeing these guys from the NRL heading into Super Rugby, because it also gives a little bit more exposure to Super Rugby and might entice a few more players to make their way over in the long run. Still face play going on at the moment for the Canes. Fihifini Anofo on the arm of Riley Higgins. Islanders should sign Ben Takura. Sears Jordan. And shot early. That was a good stretch to tighten. Let the pressure off the scoreboard. Oh, a little bit of wrestling going on from a Safwa Moore on Carlo Tazzano. He's actually injured him there. And not a single Kiwi in the World 11. But as Kyle Mills said, that's a reflection of what we played well as a team rather than individuals, says Chilean Z. And also, when you consider the guys at the top of the order, that's well done from the Force winning the penalty. But, Seifert, Allen both did well, but there are guys like Sampson who did that little bit better. A lot of the batsmen, there was someone for another team who were a little bit higher up. Kalen Ponga joining the Kiwis for the Rugby World Cup this year, says Baden. Now 2 minutes left. Okay, they're going to play on, even though there is an injury by the sounds of it. Just trying to get through the last 2 minutes of this game. Currently, the way that it sits, the Hurricanes do not have a bonus point from this game. And if they score once more, they would. Oh, that's well done. In the end, Warner Dern slapping it back, but then the Force trying to get their one back as well, looking like a 50-22, or at least close to it, driven into touch off Morby. And it's going to be backwards off gold, so now scrum or line out for the Force. And New Zealand really only have one big win at T20 World Cup. India, England, and South Africa have multiple big games to start race. That is true. Yeah, they probably didn't show the same consistency as some of those other sides in New Zealand, which is why it was quite impressive that they made it this far, or that far as they did. Try listening to one while watching this game, says Justin there, nice take from the Force. The question is, with a minute remaining, would they look to attack again? They may not have to. Darby Lancaster making his way up the field, looking for a 50-22 now. I think that might have been the wrong choice, unless it keeps on curling. It will go just into the in-goal area. Geordie Barrett has to force it, and it becomes a goal line dropout. 30 seconds remaining in this contest, but neither of these sides seem like they want this one to end. There's still plenty of gas left in the tank. We have got their poor performance from the Hurricanes, but this Force team is the best they've had in a while. Are going to be even better with Lomax, says GNZ. And does Crusaders play Moana next week? That is true. Yep, 7:05. So much sport, Hamish. There is so much on at the moment. Ruben Love ready to kick this one off. I think the Force would look for one last attack, because at the end of the day, they can gain one from this matchup in terms of points, but they theoretically can't lose one. I think the Hurricanes, they may chase a bonus point here too. Dolly goes away to the right-hand side to Burry. Kowinzel, he's hardly had the ball in this whole matchup. Hasty, back across to the left-hand side. Knock on or anything along the lines within this game. Karefi almost was looking for the steal. Now the Force, if they win a penalty where they are here, they may just take on the 3 points to close the gap. Give themselves the bonus point from it. Now another attack and run forward from Annan. Up to 22 metres out of Safwa Moore. Tries to hold him up. The Canes looking for the steal into Safwa Moore. In fact, it's Basilio Tossi who gets in the breakdown and wins the crucial steal for the Hurricanes there. Right. Do they want another attack, or do they want to kick this one into touch? Seems like the decision is about to be made. Ruben Love going to kick this one towards the sideline. They can't actually lose anything from this one. Like I've said, the Hurricanes don't want to go home yet. A great work from a Safwa Moore, and then Pasilio Tossi straight in there, the Force. Next game for the Force, they have got a game. 1 second, we'll go like that. There we go. So their next matchup, they haven't got a game this week, but they do play the week after, and that is going to be up against the Chiefs. Now, line-out throw here, 1.5 minutes past regular time. Kane's bonus point says Moa Hunters. Not currently. If they score again, they would have the bonus point. Dolly picks it up. He also doesn't want this game to end. Round the halfway line, big piercing run from the Western Force prop. It was Marley Pierce that time. Ball, it's knocked on, and that will be the end of the game. Little bit anticlimactic for the way that this one ends. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The end score here, 31-21, or 23, sorry, in favour of the Canes. Next stream is either going to be Fiji and Drua versus the Brumbies, or Crusaders versus Highlanders tomorrow. So be sure to check that out. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for watching. I will see you all for the next one.